How's it going, YouTube? Drowsy here, and welcome back to another video. So, if you guys have been living under a rock, you guys would have seen everything that's happening lately with riots and protests and whatnot. And since I cover stuff that's more involved with YouTube rather than controversial content, I decided to actually talk about Jake Paul looting, as well as his brother Logan's response to this entire situation. So, basically, I'm gonna watch through the video. I'm gonna pause it every now and then and give a little bit of feedback about how I feel about that, about what they said. Yeah, so let's get into it.
Listen closely. One of my biggest learnings from all of this, and I'm embarrassed that it's taken me 25 years to realize this. It is not enough to be not racist.
No, with Logan saying this, I actually completely agree with everything that he just said. It's you can sit here and be like, "Hey, I'm not racist, so I'm okay, right?" But in reality, um that you should be more than just not racist. You should be against the people that are racist, because having that kind of ideology in your head is terrible, and we need to put a stop to it.
You have to be anti-racist.
Yes.
Condemn those who feign superiority because of the color of their skin. Friends, hold friends accountable. Hold your family accountable. Hold yourself accountable. And most importantly, we must hold our authorities accountable. Police officers.
I feel like what Logan just said is very important, and people really need to reflect on what he just said, because you need to hold each other accountable. Because if we keep on growing in society and letting people grow up thinking certain stigmas about other people, it's just going to keep on happening, and racism's going to keep on happening. You you have to teach people not to be like that, not to have certain set things in their mind about people. And I just really agree with what Logan's saying here.
Officers, politicians, policymakers. As Killer Mike said, bully the politicians at the voting booth. Make your voice heard. Attend a protest. Speak up against injustice. If you're white, if you look like me, use your privilege. And for those who do not think white privilege exists, you are fucking blind. You are.
I feel like me personally, being white myself, I can definitely understand where he's coming from with that. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that have hatred in their heart because of the fact that they're white, and they think certain things, like they get angry when they hear the word white privilege, but in reality, being white, I can only imagine how different it is from being any other race, because the average white man is treated so much better than everyone else, and it just shouldn't be like that. The fact that it's like that is sickening, and it's disgusting that it's like that. And honestly, I feel terrible for everyone who has to deal with injustices like that.
Delusional, and you are part of the problem. I can count on zero hands the amount of times that I have feared for my life at a routine traffic stop. That has never happened. Half of the reason I'm able to get away with some of my hooligan shit I do in my vlogs is because I'm a white kid. I'm confident that I do not have to fear for my life should the cops show up. Acknowledge and weaponize your privilege. I believe we're going to a protest today. You can bet your fucking ass I'll be in the front line. Knowing all this about America, its racially charged background, its inability to truly treat humans as equals, even after 244 years since its inception, we must now work towards finding the solution. And if you are an influencer or a celebrity friend of mine, I hope you are using your platform to continue to spread the message of solidarity and unity. I do not have all the answers, but I know we must now reverse engineer the system as a collective. We must open our eyes and realize that there is only one race, and that is the human race.
Not gonna lie, that was a really corny thing to say, but at the same time, I think it's pretty effective in portraying the message that he's trying to spread, is that on this earth, we should all be one. We should all, work together to fight injustices that have happened, and that are happening currently. I think that, the way that he said that kind of sounded dumb, at least in my opinion, but he got his point across, and I completely agree with that. We all need to work together to fight the problem rather than splitting up to fight the problem, because we're all stronger together.
On behalf of Breonna Taylor, we must change. On behalf of Ahmaud Arbery, we must advance. And on behalf of George Floyd and the hundreds of others who have been unjustly murdered in this country, we must evolve.
I agree with everything Logan said, and I think that he really is putting himself out there and showing that he really cares. I personally find it annoying that people on social media are shaming him and acting as if this isn't genuine from him, saying things such as bringing up his Suicide Forest incident. I feel like that has no bearing at all anymore. I think that he's already paid quite a bit for that happening, and I feel like he's already suffered enough for that. Obviously, I don't think anyone should ever forget that he did that, but I think that people need to move on past it and stop looking at that as the only important thing that's ever happened in his life, not the charities that he's donated to, or this, for instance. So, it's just, I don't know, the media does the same thing, where they look at people's only their problems, not the solutions that they're making. Next video we're going to be looking at is Jake Paul, his response, talking about how he was actually caught looting. Yeah, let's get into it.
So over the weekend, as I'm sure a lot of you guys probably saw, I became the #1 trending topic on Twitter. People were mad at me because they assumed that me and my friends were looting, vandalizing, and breaking down storefronts. And that's the way it looked on camera. However, that isn't the case, and there's a lot more to not only that story, but there's tons of other issues and things that we need to address about what's going on with America right now.
I can already tell right off the bat what kind of video this is going to be. We've seen it countless times in the past with other YouTubers. It's just basically going to be him saying things like, hey, ignore my problems and look at problems that are happening elsewhere. I didn't do this like you think I did. But hey, I'm gonna distract you using this other thing. It's honestly, like, we've seen it before. Come on now, Jake.
What happened to George Floyd isn't okay, and there needs to be change. There's no room in America for police brutality and racism. The fact that people still have a mindset to treat other people differently based on their skin color is absurd. And as someone who is a believer in change and making change, and someone who wants to take action, I've always tried to use my platform to raise awareness for things that I believe in.
I agree with what he's saying. And I think that people with a platform should be speaking out against what's happening right now. But I would also just like to say the entire point of this video is he should be talking about his actions rather than the actions of others. And all he's done so far is really talk about the actions of others. I'm glad that he's being a little bit responsible, I guess. Not responsible, more so mature, talking about the whole situation that's going on. But at the end of the day, from the videos that we've seen, it still definitely looked like he was looting.
People have the power to make a difference, and they don't. It's easy to just post something on social media, which I've done. It's easy just to donate to a cause, which I've done. But I'm the type of person who wants to be ground floor and involved in the change firsthand. And this situation to me felt no different from when I went down to help with the hurricanes in Houston, to when I went to Parkland, Florida to be ground floor with the students there after they had a horrific school shooting. Since I was a kid, I've constantly volunteered for organizations, donated to charitable causes, and wanted to be involved in my community. And this George Floyd tragedy wasn't something that I could just look past. And being a filmmaker and someone who documents virtually everything that happens in my life, to be able to share it with the world.
So basically what he's saying is, hey, look at all these things I did in the past. That clearly rectifies any actions I'll make in the future. Hey Jake, guess what? Go